Ciao Bella, welcome to Bella Uncinetto, and welcome back to Reading with Bella. A little bit different scene. I am in a different part of my house, and I am on a different device. If you saw my community tab post, my computer is being a pain right now. It is very old and cantankerous, and I have tried to be patient and get all of the things off of it that I can. And I'm just hoping that I can get the rest of the stuff off of it without too much trouble. We are going to continue with Jabberwocky so that I have something for you all, so that I can continue to share some of the things that some of you love. Some of you have requested that I do some more reading, so here we are. We are in the section called Oxford Poems with some Memoria Technica. This one is called Examination Statute. A is for Auckland, who physic the masses. B is for Brodie, who swears by the gases. C is for Conington, constant to Horace. D is for Donkin, who integrates for us. E is for Evans, with rifle well steadied. F is for Freeman, examiner dreaded. G is Goldwin Smith, by the Saturday quoted. H is for Hurtley, to Margaret devoted. I am the author, a rhymer erratic. J is for Jowett, who lectures in attic. K is for kitchen, then attic much warmer. L is for Little, relentless reformer. M is for Mansell, our logic provider. And Norris is N, a once famous Rough Rider. Ogilvy's O, Orthodoxy's Mendoza, and Parker is P, the amendment proposer. Q is the quad, where the dawns are collecting. R is for Ralston, who lives for dissecting. S is for Stanley, sworn foe to formality. T's Travers Twists, full of civil legality. U's University, factitiously splitting. V's the Vice-Chancellor, ceaselessly sitting. W's Wall, by museum made frantic. X the expenditure, grown quite gigantic. Y are the young men whom nobody thought about. Z is the zeal that this victory brought about. This one is called The Deserted Parks. Museum! Loveliest building of the plain, where Cherwell winds towards the distant main. How often have I loitered o'er thy green, where humble happiness endeared the scene. How often have I paused on every charm, the rustic couple walking arm in arm. The groups of trees with seats beneath the shade, for prattling babes and whispering lovers made. The never-falling brawl, the busy mill, where tiny urchins vied in fistic skill. Two phrases only have that dusky race, caught from the learned influence of the place. Phrases in their simplicity sublime. Scramble a copper, please sir, what's the time? These round thy walks their cheerful influence shed. There were thy charms, but all these charms are fled. Amidst thy bowers the tyrant's hand is seen, and rude pavilions sadden all thy green. One selfish pastime grasps the whole domain, and half a faction swallows up the plain. Adown thy glades I'll sacrifice to cricket. The hollowing sound bat now guards the wicket. Sunk are thy mounds in shapeless level all, lest aught impede the swiftly rolling ball. And trembling, shrinking from the fatal blow, far, far away thy hapless children go. Ill fares the place to luxury a prey, where wealth accumulates and minds decay. Athletic sports may flourish or may fade, fashion may make them even as it has made. But the broad parks, the city's joy and pride, when once destroyed, can never be supplied. Ye friends to truth, ye statesmen who survey, the rich man's joy increase, the poor's decay. 'Tis yours to judge how wide the limits stand between a splendid and a happy land. Proud swells go by, laugh of hollow joy, and shouting folly hails them with "Ahoy!" Funds ever beyond the miser's wish abound, and yet rich men flock from all the world around. Yet count our gains. This wealth is but a name that leaves our useful products still the same. Not so the loss. The man of wealth and pride takes up a space that many poor supplied. Space for the game and all its instruments, space for pavilions and for scores tents. The ball that wraps his shins in padding cased has worn the verdure to an arid waste. His park, where these exclusive sports are seen, indignant spurns the rustic from the green, while through the plain, consigned to silence all, in barren splendor flits the russet ball. In peaceful converse with his brother Don, here oft the calm professor wandered on. Strange words he used, men drank with wandering ears, the languages called dead, the tongues of other years. Enough of Hebrew, let me once again attune my verse to Goldsmith's liquid strain. A man he was to undergraduates dear, and passing rich with £40 a year. And so, I ween, he would have been till now, had not his friends, 'twere long to tell you how, prevailed on him, Jack Horner like, to try some method to evaluate his pie, and win from those dark depths with skilful thumb 5 times 100 weight of luscious plum. Yet for no thirst of wealth nor love of praise, in learned labor he consumed his days. O luxury, thou cursed by heaven's decree, how ill exchanged are things like these for thee. How do thy potions with insidious joy diffuse their pleasures only to destroy? Iced cobbler, badminton, and shandygaff rouse the loud jests and their idiotic laugh, inspired by them to tipsy greatness grown. Men boast a florid vigor not their own. At every draught more wild and wild they grow, while pitying friends observe, I told you so. Till summoned to their post at the first ball, a feeble underhand their wickets fall. Even now the devastation is begun, and half the businesses of destruction done. Even now, methinks, while pondering here in pity, I see the rural virtues leave the city. Contented toil and calm scholastic care, and frugal moderation, all are there. Resolute industry that scorns the lure of careless mirth, that dwells apart secure. To science gives her days, her midnight toil, cheered by the sympathy of others' toil. Courtly refinement and that taste in dress, that brooks no meanness, yet avoids excess. All these I see with slow reluctant pace desert the long beloved and honored place. While yet 'tis time, Oxonia, rise and fling the spoiler from thee, grant no parleying. Teach him that eloquence against the wrong, though very poor, may still be very strong. That party interest we must forego when hostile to pro bono publico. The faction's empire hastens to its end when once mankind to common sense attend, while independent votes may win the day, even against the potent spell of play. This one is called the New Belfry of Christ Church, Oxford. The New Belfry of Christ Church, Oxford. If thou wouldst view the belfry aright, go visit it at the murk midnight, for the least of hint of open day scares the beholder quite away. When wall and window are black as pitch, and there's no deciding which is which. When the dark hall's uncertain roof in horror seems to stand aloof, when corner and corner alternately is wrought to an odious symmetry, when distant Thames is heard to sigh and shudder as he hurries by, then go, if it be worth the while, then view the belfry's monstrous pile, and home returning soothly swear 'tis more than Job himself could bear. It is the glow of conscious pride, of pure ambition gratified, that seeks to read in other eye something of its own ecstasy, or wrath that worldlings should make fun of anything the house has done, or puzzlement that seeks in vain the rigid mystery explain, Or is it shame that, knowing not how to defend or cloak the blot, the foulest blot on fairest face that ever marred a noble place, burns with the pangs it will not own, pangs felt by loyal sons alone? This one is called Songs and Chorus. 5 fathoms square the belfry frowns, all its sides of timber made, painted all in greys and browns, nothing of it that will fade. Christchurch may admire the change, Oxford thinks it sad and strange. Beauty's dead, let's ring her knell. Hark, now I hear them, ding dong bell. This one says, from the vision of 3 T's, a Threnody by the author of the new Belfry. The Wandering Burgess. Our Willie had... Okay, this one I'm going to have to read a little differently. Okay. Our Willie had say long away, frae bonny Oxford tune, the townsford they were greeting, aye, as they went up and doon. He hadna been gone a year but barely 10, when word came unto Oxford tune, our Willie would come again. Willie he stood at Thomas's gate, and made a lusty din, and who so blithe as the gate porter to rise and let him in? Now enter, Willie, and look around the place, to see the pain that we have taken, Thomas his quad to grace. The first look that our Willie cast, he look aloud, laughters 3. The nice look that our Willie cast, the tear blinded his eye. Say the square and stark the tea-crisp frowned, athwart the upper air, but when the trench our Willie saw, he talked the tea-chest fair. So murderous deep the trench did gape, the parapet aboon. But when the tunnel Willie saw, he loved the trench eftsoon. 'Twas murk beneath the tane archway, 'twas murk beneath the tither. You wouldna ken a man therein, though it were your own dear brother. He turned round and round about, and looked upon the 3, and dismal grew his countenance, and drumly grew his ee. What cheer, my gallant knight, the gate porter gainsay, saw ever ye say fair a sight, as you have seen this day. Now haud your tongue of prithing, man, of your prating now let me be, for I am a true knight, a fouler sight I'll never live to see. Before I'd be the ruffian dark who planned this ghastly show, I'd serve as secretary clerk to Ayrton or to Lowe. Before I'd own the loathly thing that Christchurch quad reveals, I'd serve as shoeblack's underling to Odger and to Beals. Ooh, it sounds a little mad. Okay, this one is called, I hope I don't butcher this, a Bachanalian Ode. Bachanalian. Bachanalian Ode. Here's to the freshman of bashful 18, here's to the senior of 20, here's to the youth whose mustache can't be seen, and here's to the man who has plenty. Let the men pass, out of the mass, I'll warrant we'll find you some fit for a class. Here's to the censors, who symbolize sense, just as miters incorporate might, sir. To the bursar, who never expands the expense, and the readers who always do right, sir. Tudor and Dawn, let them jog on, or I warrant they'll rival the centuries gone. Here's to the chapter melodious crew, whose harmony surely intends well, for though it commences with harm it is true, yet its motto is all's well that ends well. 'Tis love I'll be bound to make it go round, for in for a penny is in for a pound. Here's to the governing body whose art, for they're masters of arts to a man, sir, seeks to beautify Christchurch in every part, though the method seems hardly to answer. Where 3 T's it is graced, which letters are placed to stand for the names of tact, talent, and taste. The Wine Committee. 4 frantic members of a chosen committee. One of them resigned, and then there were 3. 3 thoughtful members that may pull us through. One was invalided. Then there were two tranquil members. Much may yet be done, but then they never came together, so I had to work with one. I love my love with a T. I love my love with a T, because he is tethered and tied. I hate him with a T, because in spite of me, he is not terrified. The next one. He took a second-story flat. He took a second-story flat in which you would not swing a cat, but such was never his intent. His only object was low rent, and to swing cats he never meant, etc. And that is the end of that section. The rest is just footnotes. It's a long list of footnotes. So I will let you go with that one, and maybe I will be back for the next part is the hunting of the snark. So we shall see what comes next. I hope that you have enjoyed listening and sharing along with me, and I hope to see you again very soon. Be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!